going to jump over to who do we have? We have Connections Consult and Cyprian Otel, who is UiPath, and they're going to talk a bit about data mining using UiPath and Connections Consult out of Bucharest. So, Cyprian, over to you. I'm going to jump off. I'm going to jump back on. That'll be the time to start wrapping up. Okay.
Perfect, Tom. Thank you. Please just confirm that you can hear me.
Yes, all good.
Perfect. So first of all, thank you for the opportunity to present. My name is Ciprian Oțel, and I'm a pre-sales technical consultant at UiPath, responsible for Eastern Europe region. And today I'm going to talk to you about how the future of automation looks like. I don't know if you all realize, but the companies you are working for sit actually on a gold mine. And the gold is just one step away from being leveraged, so that we unlock a new way to achieve a digital transformation. And now you might wonder what I'm talking about. Okay, what is this gold mine? Well, think about all those IT systems and applications which you and the company are using. Basically, you are generating a lot of data. And nowadays, this data is also called or referred to as being a digital gold because, of course, of its high potential if used. And now, since I mentioned digital transformation and everyone is talking about this digital transformation, let's just see how this actually looks like. And let's think about a pyramid where on the top of the pyramid, we can see the digital transformation. But in order to achieve this, right, this coming from the upper management, from the C-level, they want to have a digital transformation, we need to have a strong base, right? And the strong base is mainly, this consists mainly of automation. Either if we are talking about task automation, process automation, but we need to make sure that we have really efficient, streamlined processes which mainly are automated, and they are generating a lot of data which is going then to be used for different purposes. Now, since I said automation is one of the key pillars of digital transformation, now let's just see actually what are some of the challenges or issues in your processes that might be affecting the rest of your business. And now here, if we look, we can see a dozen of them, right? Sometimes we are working with different departments because it's a really complex and big process. So this needs to be then split into smaller pieces. Maybe we are talking with too many systems. Sometimes the process is unpredictable and there are some disruptions. Maybe we have a lack of visibility into this process, and this only leads to a trial and error approach for the automation. We just put the automation production, we have a business exception, then we learn about that business exception, implement the logic, and so on. And this has a massive impact on the business, and sometimes we need to be really agile, right? We need to go to market either to remain or to become competitive. And not having automations in place, this might affect actually our performance. And of course, sometimes we would have siloed ways of working that feed and bring inefficiency. And now we've established that processes have a direct impact on the health of your business, but how do you go about discovering your process, right? So most processes are more complicated than you'd expect. And on the left here, we have the core steps in a simple invoice processing. Pretty straightforward, right? But in reality, then unfortunately, processes are almost never straightforward, as can be seen on the right side. And there are many deviations, exceptions, and rework that happens in a process that we're simply not aware of. And there is where process mining comes in, right? The UiPath product called process mining. Now, this is just one product out of a suite or a platform, a hyper-automation platform, which is intended to help our customers to automate end-to-end processes. And this hyper-automation is basically RPA, robotic process automation, and the expansion of this technology to many other technologies such as AI, machine learning, process mining, process discovery, etc. It's split into different stages. We have the discovery stage, where we are going to focus on today with our process mining solution. We need to discover, capture the benefits of potential automation ideas, and then also see which is the impact which is being brought by those ideas. Then we start and prioritize, of course, what processes we would automate, start building those automations, deploy them on a server, which is going to manage the automation, and of course is going to manage the robots, so the digital workforce. The digital workforce which runs and processes all those transactions. And at some point, we also need to engage with the robots. So we have human-in-the-loop capabilities when they are unsure about some information or they need our approval. And in the end, we also measure the benefits which are being brought by the automation initiative. This is just brief about hyper-automation, but the main focus is going to be today the process mining. So I'm introducing the process mining tool, a tool which can be used at any point. It can be used before, during, and also after automation. So just keep that in mind. And as I already mentioned in the beginning, your company most probably is already sitting on this gold mine, which is actually the data required for process mining. It's in your systems, applications, whether that's SAP, Oracle, Salesforce, or any other application which is generating also log files. And we call this raw data the digital footprints of your process. And the data essentially chronicles your process from start to finish. And the process mining steps in to turn this raw data into intuitive process graphs and dashboards that help you to continuously discover and streamline your processes. And then process mining connects easily and directly to those systems. And using a powerful and integrated data transformation layer just to pull the digital footprints left behind, and then visualize your processes in an intuitive process graph. And now you can see whether where your bottlenecks might be, and where the rework is being done and what is costing you, and maybe sometimes to also estimate how much that costs you, to see, for instance, also which is the throughput time, so the time needed for one transaction to be completed. And the best part of it is that it's 100% data driven. So no more making process improvement decisions based on a gut feeling. And using this information, you can deploy a strategic combination of automation and other optimizations that will yield the best results for stronger and also more resilient processes. And of course, last, we look at the monitoring part. And if we learn one thing from COVID-19, it's that process agility is important. And process mining lets you continuously monitor and optimize your processes over time using unique business logic KPIs, which are important to you. So let's say you have a specific SLAs, which a team needs to keep in mind. So that's going to be a business logic. So we are going to just set a threshold there. If some transactions exceed that threshold, then we are going to have an exception, which is going to be flagged by process mining. So we can then proactively intervene when needed. And also, this ability to react quickly, that is going to be your secret weapon, actually, when it comes to future and unforeseen disruptions, because you can see almost in real time, or sometimes in real time, exactly what's happening with your process and with any transaction. Now let's move a little bit further, and we can do actually much more than this. We can leverage also the best RPA technology on the market. which is provided by UiPath and which is a perfect fit for process mining, so that our robots now have even more power, so they have superpowers. And leveraging this yields the best results for a holistic and end-to-end process automation. Now, this provides full transparency, helps you to track your KPIs, enables a 100% data-driven decision making, reduces department silos, increases efficiency, and of course, reduces the manual and repetitive work. And now, put robots in context of the end-to-end processes. Then you have fast insight into the impact of automation for an optimal RPA agility. So once you put the process in production, you can see exactly and measure the impact. Then monitor whether the changes do the process have the intended effect or the opposite, and intervene, of course. Continuously optimize interactions between robots and the surrounding environment. Sorry. And robots also can act on findings and can either solve them by themselves or create tasks and make sure that the person is going to take care of them in time. So we will have a human in the loop interaction. And who would love to use such a tool where there are many use cases? We can think about business analysts, which are going through processes, looking for new ways to improve the process, identifying bottlenecks and so on, but also users which would need a monitoring role. So users, which many consist of team leaders, managers, which want to make sure that their team is performing as expected. So they have a expected service level agreement, and if not, they intervene with training and things like this. But don't take my words for granted. Here we just have some numbers from our customers which started using process mining separate or also together with RPA. And a big audit company, for instance, obtained a reduction in audit preparation time by 50%. Then we have also an insurance company which managed to realize cost savings more than 500K and so on. So it's about efficiency, but also having this X-ray of your process. So with that being said, I want to thank you. And now it's time for the Q&A session.
Okay, great. We've got a few questions, and one you kind of addressed at the very end there with your customers. But one question from Greg Vasovsky at Salesforce says, can you give us an example of a successful customer and what pains you solved for them?
Okay, now in numbers I cannot tell you, but most processes, let's say, are financial processes. From my experience, where I've seen that we identified some bottlenecks, it's possible that you identify also fraud, things like this. You can make everything more efficient because you have control over each and any transaction. So see, and you can learn really fast about what's happening so that you can then adjust that and save time and of course money, because SLA agreements, yeah, can then bring you some fees if you don't. Oh,
we lost him. You see it? You guys see it? Okay, so that's the first technical problem we've had today, which is a good sign, and we fixed it pretty fast. Good, that's good. Okay, Cyprian, you're back on. I don't know if you'd answer that last question or not, but let's go to the next one. Let's go to the next, which is QPR does this job every day. This is Petri Hasinen from Valmet. QPR does this job every day. What's the difference? And again, what problem is solved?
Okay, so basically what I'm saying here, it's not only about using the process automation tool, but it's more like using a suite of integrated products which are going to help you to establish an end-to-end enterprise automation. And with this being said, I'm not looking at only one product, but I'm looking also at the roadmap and the future of what this can bring if we put all the technologies together. So I hope I answered to the question.
Okay. Next question. Is this a connection consult solution based on UiPath or a joint GTM? It's not clear to me.
Right.
That's from Christina Davis.
Yeah, we are basically the software provider. So we are selling licenses, and the Connections Consult is our partner, and they can basically create and implement such process mining solutions or hyper automation solutions because they are certified UiPath partners.
Okay. Good. Another question. How is the market traction with customers so far? How is the business going?
Well, I would say business is booming since COVID. I see a lot of new use cases. And since we integrated the process mining into our RPA platform, there are a lot more cases where process mining interacts with people or with robots directly. So we can be really proactive on the data which we are mining and analyzing.
Okay, great. One more second. Any more questions, please? Okay, Cyprian, I think no more questions, and we're on schedule. Thank you very, very much. When is UiPath doing its IPO? Must be very soon. Q1 must be very soon, right?
Well, I'm not sure, but if you read some news, you're going to find there, of course, that information because it's confidential.
That's right. Thanks very much, Cyprian. Again, good luck. Fingers crossed.